Welcome back. This is video 2 of the Technology, Everyday Tools, and Community Connection Workbook for Consumers with Visual Disabilities video series. And in this part, we're jumping into part 1, Low-Tech Supports for Everyday Living. In this video, we're going to cover a lot of helpful and practical ideas, so feel free to pause, rewind, or take notes whenever you need to. By the end of this video, you'll be able to identify low-tech tools that can make daily tasks easier, recognize common home safety risks, and know simple ways to reduce them, and explore strategies to improve your independence and confidence in everyday routines at home. So let's go ahead and get started. First, what exactly do we mean by low tech? Low tech assistive technology tools, or low tech AT, are simple devices that help you do everyday tasks more safely and independently, both at home and out in the community. Compared to high-tech options, which we'll cover in part 2 or video 3, low-tech tools tend to cost less, require less time and practice to learn, and work really well without much training needed. That makes them a great starting point for a lot of people. Now, let's go ahead and walk through some of the most helpful low-tech tools available. On my screen, you'll see images on the right and a description on the left of each low-tech tool. And I will go through each of these. So the first one is large print items. Large print items are exactly what they sound like. Everyday objects printed in bigger, bolder text so they're easier to read and use. This includes things like large print calendars, pill boxes, crossword puzzles, playing cards, and calculators. These can make a real difference if small text has become frustrating or difficult to read. And on the right is an image of what a large print calendar may look like. The next item here is our large and bold markers. A thick black marker, like a bold writer or a Sharpie, can help when you need to write something down clearly. Whether you're labeling a container, jotting a note down, or filling out a form, a bold marker makes your writing easier to see for yourself and others. And the image on the right is a image of what a bold writer looks like. The next item is bold line paper. Bold line paper has darker, thicker lines that are much easier to see than standard notebook paper. It helps keep your writing organized and on track. And there are templates available specifically designed for things like writing checks, addressing envelopes, and even making grocery lists. On the right is an image of a standard bold line paper notebook, and this one is yellow with bold black lines. The next items are bump dots. Bump dots are small stickers with a raised bump on them, and they're available in different shapes and sizes. You can place them on buttons you use most often at home, like your TV remote, microwave buttons, the washer dryer, or the thermostat. Instead of trying to read the label, you feel for the bump. It's a simple, low-cost way to navigate your home and devices in your home more easily. And the image on the right are of red bump dots. One is circular and the other one is square. The next item is Velcro. Velcro is a surprisingly versatile tool for people with vision loss. You can use it to create home spots for important items so that your remote, keys, or phone always go back to exactly the same place. You can find them by feel. It's also great for labels, secure attachments, and keeping things organized and easy to locate. And the image on the right is of a strip of black Velcro. The next item here is reflective tape. Reflective tape is a bright tape that reflects light, making it much easier to spot important, important spots around your home. Try placing it on things like stair edges, door frames, or countertop edges. It helps your eyes catch those transition points more clearly and reduces the chance of misstep or falling. And the image on the right is a roll of yellow reflective tape. The next item here are magnifiers. Magnifiers help you see small print and find details more clearly. They're great for reading labels, mail, directions, or paperwork. And they come in many sizes, from small handheld magnifiers you can carry in a pocket or purse to larger ones that can sit on the table. And they even have different levels of magnification. The next item here are desk or floor lamps. Good lighting can make a bigger difference than you might expect. A bright desk or floor lamp gives you focused light exactly where you need it. At your reading chair, your kitchen counter, or wherever you're sorting medications. This reduces shadows and eye strain and makes a lot of tasks significantly easier. The next item is magnifying desk lamps. A magnifying desk lamp combines two tools in one, a bright light and a built-in magnifier. If you do a lot of close-up tasks like reading, crafts, or writing, this might be worth exploring. And the image here is a picture of a magnifying desk lamp that is clamped onto a desk, and that can be adjustable where you can move it around. The next items are talking clocks, watches, and keychains. Talking clocks and watches speak the time out loud, so you don't have to rely on seeing a screen or a clock face. They're simple, reliable, and useful throughout the day. In the image on the right are of some small talking clocks. The next item are pill organizers with lights. A pill organizer with flashing lights, and sometimes they come with sound, can remind you when it is time to take your medication. This is helpful for keeping track of medications, if that has become more difficult. And the image on the right is an example of a pill organizer that flashes both a red light and has sound as well. And finally, the last example item here is a talking reminder or your minder. A talking reminder device that is sometimes called your minder speaks the time, day, or an alarm message out loud. You can set it to remind you of specific tasks, appointments, or medication times. It's a great tool for staying on schedule without needing to read a screen or writing down in a calendar. And the image on the right is a example of a your minder version. So moving on um, into beyond these tools, there are some general home strategies that can make a big difference in your safety and confidence every day. These are low tech or even no tech approaches. So let's go through them. I'll start with lighting. Lighting is one of the most impactful changes you can make. Use bright, even lighting throughout your home Add a lamp in places where you read, prep food, or sort medications. Night lights in hallways and the bathroom are especially important for nighttime safety. For best results, look for LED or full spectrum light bulbs. They tend to provide the clearest and most natural light. Next is having clear pathways. Keeping walkways clear and uncluttered is a simple but important safety step. Move items like cords, shoes, and bags out of the main paths you walk through, and keep doors either fully open or fully closed. A half-open door can be easy to bump or walk into. Next tip is keeping items in the same spot. One of the most effective strategies is simply consistency. Choose a dedicated home for your most important items, like your keys, your phone, wallet, glasses, a cane, um, remote. Those are some examples of some items you might use every day. And always, with those items, always put them back in the same place. Over time, this becomes automatic and it eliminates a lot of frustration. The next tip is organizing your items. Baskets, trays, and dividers can make it much easier to find what you need without searching through a jumbled drawer or shelf. Clear or labeled organizers are especially helpful in the kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. The next tip is using contrast and color. Color contrast is a powerful, low-cost visual strategy. The idea is simple. Put dark items on light surfaces and light items on dark surfaces so they stand out clearly. For example, a dark bath mat on a white floor, or a white plate on a dark placemat. You can also use bright tape or bold labels to make switches, knobs, and edges easier to find. Something as simple as yellow tape around a light switch can make a real difference. So, now that we've learned a little bit about some tools and safety tips, let's look at how these strategies apply in the rooms you may use every day. We'll go through 5 areas: your entryway, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. Some tips will apply in more than one room, and some you may already be doing. If so, that is great. This is a chance to confirm what's working and maybe pick up 1 or 2 new ideas. So we'll go ahead and dive in. Starting with your entryway or front door. So we'll describe different challenges or tasks you would want to do more easily. So the first one is, I want to find the keyhole and unlock my door more easily. A tip could be try placing a bump dot, a small piece of reflective tape, or a bit of Velcro right near the keyhole. Your fingers will find it quickly even in the low light. Next one, I want to find the light switch quickly when I walk in. A tip here could be put reflective tape around the switch or Velcro right next to it. It's a small change that removes a common frustration. Now, moving in to the living room and common areas. If you want to read your mail, I want to read my mail. Try using a magnifier or keep a bright lamp near your reading chair or table. You can also use an app on your phone to help. We'll cover that more in detail in part 3 or video 4. The next challenge is I want to find and use my TV remote. Give your remote a permanent home spot. A tray, such as a tray, a basket, or just one consistent place on the couch or table. You can also use Velcro to keep it attached to a surface so it doesn't slip away. And add bump dots to the buttons you use most, such as the power, volume, and changing the channel buttons are good ones to start with. Moving into the kitchen now. The challenge is that I want to read labels and find the right item. Try using a magnifier or write large labels with a bold black marker directly on containers. Keeping items in consistent spots also helps a lot. So spices together, cans together, so your hands know where to reach each time. The next challenge is I want to use my microwave more easily. Try adding bump dots to the buttons you use most, like the start, stop, and the time buttons. Once those are in place, you can navigate by touch. The next challenge that you may experience in the kitchen is you want to you want cooking to feel safer. Try using bright task light aimed directly at your work area, your cutting board, stove, or counter. You can also add bump dots to the stove or oven knobs you use most often so you can feel for the right setting. Now moving into the bathroom. Challenge is I want to tell my bottles apart. Try wrapping a rubber band around one bottle, for example, the conditioner, so you can immediately tell it apart from the shampoo by touch. You can also try keeping bottles in the same position every time so you know where to reach. Another challenge is I want to take my medication safely. Try using a large print pill organizer or one with lights. You can also sort your medications in a well-lit location to reduce errors. Next challenge is I want to avoid slips. Try using a non-slip mat in the shower or tub and choose a bath mat in a color that contrasts with your floor. This makes it much easier to see where it is and step over it safely. In the next room, now going into the bedroom. Challenges I want to find my clothes quickly. Try organizing clothing by type using large print labels. You could also try using Velcro on hangers to identify different types of clothing by feel. Another tip is hang outfits that go together on the same hanger or right next to each other so matching is easy. The next challenge could be I want to find my daily items. Try using one dedicated home spot for your phone, glasses, and keys, something like a small tray on your nightstand, in the same spot every time. Finally, maybe the challenge is I want to check the time. Try a talking clock or watch. It tells you the time out loud so there's no squinting or struggling at a screen in the middle of the night. So, now that we've learned about many tips and strategies and also tools, we're going to apply it to an activity. So now it is your turn. Again, we've covered a lot, and this short activity will be able to kind of help you put one of them into practice. So here's how it works. There are 4 steps here. Step 1, you're going to pick one room in your home. So choose one room to focus on. It could be your living room, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, entryway, or any other space that feels challenging. You can write it down if you have access to the workbook, or just keep it in mind. And once you have that written down, we'll go ahead to step 2. Step 2 is identifying one task that is challenging. And maybe you've already thought about that in step 1. So, what is something in the room that becomes harder to do? Some examples from the workbook included finding your remote, keys, or phone. Also identifying your shampoo versus conditioner, reading the buttons on your microwave or remote, reading labels in your kitchen. What comes to mind for you? Take a few minutes, you can pause the video and identify one task that is challenging. Once you have your identified task that is challenging, we can move on to step 3, which is making one small change. So you can pick one strategy that we covered today and try it. A few ideas to get you started and get you thinking could be add a bump dot to buttons you use the most, put a large print label on a container, use reflective tape around a light switch, create a home spot with a tray or bin for something you lose track of. You can um, write down or think about, say, one of those changes you're going to make and make it. So take a couple minutes here, pause the video, try out making this change, and then whenever you feel like you've made the change, and or maybe you want to make the change after the video, you can feel free to come back and continue with moving on to step 4. In step 4, we're going to reflect on how it went. So after you've tried your change, you can come back here and we'll think about what did you change? We made that small change in step 3, so you can write it here or reflect on what you changed and think about, did it make the task easier? Yes, no, maybe a little. And then once you've answered that, kind of think of what might you want to change next time. If you like that change, is maybe there's something more you can use with the type of tool or strategy you did. Maybe you didn't like the change. Is there another strategy you think you might want to try? This kind of reflection it can be very powerful. It helps you figure out what works best for you because everyone's situation is a little different and not every tool is going to work for everybody. So that wraps up part 1, low tech supports for everyday living. You've just explored a whole range of simple, practical tools and strategies that can make your daily life safer, easier, and more independent. Remember, you don't have to change everything at once. Start small. Pick one tool, try one strategy, and see how it goes. Similar to what we just did in the activity. Small changes can really add up over time. So, this is the end of this video, but in the next video, we'll move into part 2, high-tech tools to support vision loss, where we'll explore more advanced technology options, including apps and devices specifically designed to help people with vision loss. So take your time with the activity in part 1 if you haven't finished it, and whenever you're ready, we'll see you in the next video, or we'll see you next time.